Meh.
Wrong screen.
Oop, wrong screen?
Good at chatting.
Good at chatting. Oh yeah, that screen. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, but yeah, we might want to see the book we're reading. And hello, Moon, to you too. And I, of course, appreciate your objection. Also, I didn't know that Luigi hums when you play the theme song. So it's just funny hearing the Luigi's Mansion theme and just going it cracked me up and I was like, what the heck is this? Anyway, hi. So with me today I have someone you may know, Ergo Corvus.
Hi.
That's him. And lately on his channel, he's been doing this Choose Your Own Adventure series with Goosebumps. After Halloween, he plans on, doing it still, just with other things. But Goosebumps just felt right. Oh! Yeah, you resubscribed to me! Yay! For 22 months. How come I'm like 24 months and you're 22?
There was like a problem with mine, and I forgot to fix it for a while. Because I'm using the like Prime subscription, and you have to like manually do it each month, and so I forget. Is basically.
That's fine. That's fine. I was only teasing.
Yeah.
Sort of. Anyway, but we have switched things up today because I felt bad that Ergo was never getting the opportunity to choose his own adventure. He's been reading some adventures for people. He did it for me, he did it for Tirif, he did it for Rev, and he has not yet gotten to choose. So I offered him the opportunity. I was like, hey, what if we put it on my stream and you get to be the reader? You get to choose. And Ergo said yes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if he can survive the comic book shop. So let's just see how that goes. Ergo, do you think you're going to be okay? Or more importantly, do you think you're going to get the best ending of all?
Gonna do it on the first try.
You're going to get it on the first try?
No deaths.
Really?
Yep.
Do
totally. Look, I won the slots.
Yay! Gambling.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, sure. But do you think he'll get the best ending of all? The RL shame.
No. I will not be shamed by Robert Stein.
Oh my gosh, his name is Robert? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he goes by Bob.
Okay, Bob Stein. For context on the RL shame thing, when Ergo did the Choose Your Own Adventure with Tirif and Rev, both of them were able to get this ending. At least like at one point during the reading, where R.L. Stein just like flat out aggressively shamed them. It was like, wow, you're such a chicken for choosing this. If you're so afraid, just close this book and leave, you coward. And I somehow didn't manage to get that. I thought I could get it, but I never did. So I don't get to join the shame club. So I hope that you can join Tirif and Rev in the shame club today. But let's go ahead. Without further ado, let's start with Little Comic Shop of Horrors. I like his outfit. For if you can't see the book illustration very clearly, the monster-looking frog with tusks or velociraptor, whatever that is, it says Super Lizard on it. So I'm interested to find out more about Super Lizard.
Yeah, like you would think that he's a hero or whatever, but he seems to be just ripping stuff apart, so I don't know.
He's an
He seems violent.
An anti-hero.
An anti-hero. He's like the Punisher.
Exactly.
But he's just a lizard that just eats people.
Okay. Beware. Do not read this book from beginning to end. It would be very confusing if you did.
Just read it all in order.
It would not make any sense.
It would be like watching like a Memento or something, and it's like you have to piece it all together.
Whoa!
You have to try and figure out what was supposed to happen.
Heck yeah.
In which order.
All right. Well, especially since you and I have to still get dinner after we do this stream, let's start now.
Yeah.
All right. Hey!
Hey.
You've never noticed that comic store before. It's kind of dusty, but man, does it have great comics. If you check out the books on the spinner rack, you're spun into a comic book universe. Which superhero do you want to be? Will the supervillains destroy you? Or worse, will you end up as an ink blot?
What does that mean?
What does any of that mean? Yeah, if you follow the horror sign to the basement, look out! You'll find horror down there, all right, but not horror comics. This scary adventure is all about you.
Just general horror.
Right?
Just the embodiment of the emotion of horror.
Heck yeah. Just it's a page in the dictionary that says horror on it.
Yeah.
And Jurassic Jacob, thanks for the lurk. Enjoy. But yes, this scary adventure is all about you, Ergo. You decide what will happen. And you decide how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1, then follow the instructions at the bottom. Beware! I didn't realize this was an instructional page until I got mostly into it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You gotta read it, you gotta know the instructions.
Very true. Give yourself goosebumps. Let's go.
Just click on 1.
Oh, just click on 1? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could just go. Okay. Chapter 1. I thought after school clubs were oh, that's you.
Oh yeah, I thought after school clubs were supposed to be fun.
You grumble. You love comic books, and a comic book club sounded cool. But it's run by Horace Grumbacher, the dullest kid in school. How could someone make a subject like comics boring? Horace manages. He clicks his slide projector to a picture of a comic book cover. Here's the first issue starring Super Doer, he drones. Today it's worth nearly $200,000. Click. And here's the first appearance of Ballistic Bug. This comic goes for nearly $20,000. As if any kid in this club can afford that, you think. The projector clicks again, and a horror comic appears on the screen. Excellent! You love horror! But Horace can even make a horror doll. This issue of the Seller of Scary Stories went for $1,600, he lectures. An ugly face sneers at you from the comic cover. Yuck, it looks like a rotten pumpkin with warts. You turn away and notice the classroom clock. How did it get so late? You run outside, in time to see a horrible sight. Oh no! Oh, that's you.
Oh no!
You groan. The school bus is already a block away. It left without you.
Thanks a lot, Horace.
You growl. Because of his boring lecture, now you have to walk home. If you follow the same route as the bus, you won't get home for hours. You decide you'd better try a shortcut, even though it means going through a part of town you've never seen before. You walk and walk along your shortcut. With every step you take, your book bag gets heavier. The area you're cutting through looks a little weird. The buildings are all old and dingy. The stores huddle together as if they're holding each other up. And the stuff in the windows is very weird. You pass a clothing store that seems to be selling Halloween costumes, even though Halloween is months away. And the man, yeah.
It's just the spirit of Halloween that just never closes.
See, I was just gonna say, man, these are written, from a bygone era. We usually have, Halloween stuff around, in August nowadays? Yeah. So it's this would be commonplace, now for sure. And those dolls in that toy shop window, they look like vampires. They must be, what's that, Twilight dolls. Anyway, you're relieved when you spot a store for vacuum cleaners. that's normal, you think. And next to it, hey, a comic shop!
A whole store just for vacuum cleaners?
Yeah, that's not very normal at all. You step inside. The comic shop is dimly lit. You can barely make out the comics on the spinning racks. Beyond, in deeper shadows, are tables with row after row of books. These are the back issues where collectors look for treasures. The owner stands behind a cash register. He looks familiar with his round face and warts, but you can't place him.
What, from that book cover?
I guess so, because he said it looks like a pumpkin with warts. That's round. He grunts when he sees you. Kids. Well, who does he expect to come in and buy comics? Adult stuff.
Just old
comics.
nerds.
Wow, R.L. Stine, how dare you. As you walk past him, the store owner calls out, "Leave your bag up here." You scowl. Why is he treating you like a thief? You think about leaving. But you'd like a rest from walking. And besides, you really want to check out the comics. Strolling around the racks, you notice the latest issue of Major Disaster. You bought it just a week ago. This guy has a sticker on it for half price. Walking a little faster, you start picking up comic books. Doesn't the owner know what these things are worth? The deeper into the store you go, the darker it gets. A pair of bookcases block your way, but there's a little space between them. You see light coming through the crack. You squeeze between the bookcases into an open area. A dusty light bulb dangles from the ceiling. In its dim glow, you make out another spinning rack full of comics. A sign taped to the top of the rack says, "You think this is a library? Look, but don't touch, or you'll be sorry."
Whoa.
You peer at the comics on the rack. Whoa, that's the latest issue of Ballistic Bug from Horace's slideshow. The comic is marked for $2. And up there, on the top rack, is an incredibly expensive comic or copy of Super Doer. Then you notice something else. A doorway. Beyond the rack, metal stairs lead downward. To the basement, you guess. An arrow-shaped sign points down the stairway. It reads, "Horror." There's also a tattered sign on the open door. You try to make out the faded letters. It seems to say no admittance. Trespassers will be glomped. What? Or glomped. There's like an F.
Glomped.
Glomped. Glomped.
Oh no, he's going to glomp.
No. What an early era 2000s thing to do. You don't really care. All you care about is making a tough decision. Should you take a closer look at the rack, or should you go down to the horror section? Ergo, your first choice. If you check out the rack, or if you go downstairs.
I mean, I feel like we already looked at there's just comics on it, so let's go downstairs.
Go downstairs? Gonna get glomped, huh? Yep. You head down the stairs. But after your first step, the whole stairway begins to shake. It's as if heavy machinery is working underneath. The stair treads under your feet suddenly tilt. They crash down with an echoing mechanical sound. Aww. And welcome, Sir Icken. I feel like I should be like, oh, we're gonna glomp you now, but anyway, thank you for resubscribing for 6 months. Thank you so much, friend, for always being such a cool friend and lovely supporter. I hope you're having fun with these, with this Choose Your Own Adventure. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I was inspired by a certain book/movie. I wonder if you know. But yeah, Ergo just made his first choice. We're going downstairs. Let's see where that leads him.
We're at the glomp.
We're at the glomp part, yeah. This, glomp. Now you know. The stairway has turned itself into a slide. Your feet skid out from under you and you bang your elbow. You're going faster and you can't stop. You claw frantically at the slide, but you can't get a grip on the smooth metal. You don't even slow down. You just make a noise like nails on a blackboard. It makes a good blend with your screams as you zoom faster and faster, deeper into the dark. You roll, bounce, even tumble in a somersault.
Oh.
Then there's nothing underneath you. You shoot past the end of the metal slide and slam into a plywood wall. Man, you chose a violent one, Ergo. This one's hurting you. Then you thud down onto a concrete floor.
Oof.
You groan.
Hold on. Oof.
Oof.
Roblox oof.
No, not Roblox oof.
The former Roblox.
What was that game called though? The one with the cherub. The original oof.
Not Punisher. Something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's right.
It's from some other game.
It's lore for you. It was
Messiah.
never just in Roblox.
Person.
Messiah! There you go. The Messiah oof. But also, welcome, friend. Thank you for the info as well. Okay, that hurt. Okay.
Yeah, oof, yeah.
That hurt. On your hands and knees, you try to climb back up the slide that used to be a stairway, but it's too steep, it's slippery. You just slither to the bottom again. No, you're good. I'm glad you were excited to answer that. We're fans of H Bomber Guy, and we've rewatched that video he's done about the oof and Tommy Tellerico, like at least 4 times. I know I've watched it a shit ton. Anyway, and I still can't remember the name of the game, so whoops. Glad that you knew. But yes, trying to stay calm, you gaze around. You're in a small, shadowy room. Its walls are made of plywood. An opening leads to a plywood hall, lit by a single bulb. You walk down the hall. After a few yards, it turns. You find yourself in another little room. This one has 3 doorways. You choose the right-hand one.
Hey, how come I don't get to choose?
Yeah, right? Yeah, how come Ergo doesn't get to choose? What's up with this R.L. Stein? Bob?
What is this, just regular Goosebumps?
Yeah, Bobby. You choose the right-hand one to find yet another hall. That one zigzags to 2 more rooms, then a 4-way intersection of corridors. What's going on?
What's going on?
You mutter.
I feel like a rat in a maze.
Whoa!
Despite all my rage.
Yeah, I'm still just a rat in a cage. No problem, you tell yourself. I'll memorize my route. To make it easier, you decide to make only right turns. Again, here's Bobby Boy over here. Just, choosing that for you. That works for the first 4 choices you face. Oh, must be nice to have a choice. Then you find yourself in a room with only 1 doorway on the left. By the 10th choice, you're mumbling to yourself, trying to remember which way you went. This place is definitely a maze, and it's bigger than the basement of the small comic shop. You feel as if you've been walking for miles. How can that be? The next room you find is stacked high with old copies of The Cellar of Scary Stories. They're all the same issue that Horace showed you a slide of. The guy with the face like a warty pumpkin is the series host. His name is Milo the Mutant. Hey, now you realize why the comic shop owner seemed familiar. He looks just like Milo the Mutant. This is starting to get creepy. Then you hear a noise echoing through the maze, a slow scraping sound, like a foot dragging on concrete. Someone or something is following you. What should you do? Ergo, do you go back and see who's following you, or would you rather get out of there fast?
Also, I just realized we're basically have just gone into the back rooms. Just an endless series of hallways.
Right.
We need some help getting out of here. We should go back and see who's following us.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure they're helpful.
Oh, you don't want the potential RL shame? Anyway.
Okay.
You tell yourself.
So I'm being followed through a dark maze. I should look on the bright side. Maybe whoever it is can show me the way out of here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You turn back on your trail. As you do, you notice a nasty smell in the air. It reminds you of the time your Uncle Mel left the bag of garbage in the kitchen when the family went on a 2-week vacation. And it seems to be getting stronger. Uh-oh. You pop around a corner and into a room. Light pours through a second doorway. It throws a moving shadow on the wall. Maybe it's Milo. or whatever the owner's real name is. Then the figure arrives in the doorway. It's not Milo. This guy is tall, and he doesn't have a face like a rotten pumpkin. His skin is greenish gray, like moldy cheese. Puckered scars run up his cheeks. A pair of big metal bolts stick out of his neck. It's impossible, but he looks like Frankenstein. When he sees you, he snarls, "Nyarg!"
Oh, he goes, "Nya!"
Yeah, "Nyarg!" For a moment, you can't tear your eyes away from Frankenstein's monster. But when he lurches towards you...
No, it's the scientist.
Oh, yeah, with the big metal bolts in his neck. Yeah, that's the scientist.
He turned himself into the monster.
Ah, naturally, yeah.
Obviously.
You dash down a hallway. The creature's snarling cry echoes behind you. As you race through the next doorway, you scrape against the rough plywood. Your jacket tugs you back when you take the next step. It's caught on a bunch of splinters. If you try to pull loose, but you can't get free. And here comes the monster's scraping footsteps. Desperately, you wrestle out of the coat and keep running. You turn left, then right again. After a few moments, the creature's snarls become fainter. It sounds as if you're losing him. Should you keep running? Or now that he can't see you, should you try sneaking away from the creature? One thing's for sure. You've got to find the way out of this maze. Fast. And that's right, Tirith. Super Lizard.
Yeah, I hope we actually find Super Lizard.
Right, yeah. I want to see the character that's advertised on the front.
So far, we've just found Frankenstein.
Yeah, and Milo the Mutant. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you're doing well, by the way. Tirith and also everybody in chat.
Hello.
But yeah, Ergo, what's your choice? Are you running or are you sneaking?
Running is tiring, so I'm just gonna sneak.
Fair point. Fair point. All right. Your heart is pounding so hard you can barely hear anything, but you strain your ears as you tiptoe down the shadowy corridors. You peek carefully around every corner. You can't hear Frankenstein's shuffling footsteps anymore. Even his roars of "Nyah" have faded away. You've lost him. With a sigh of relief, you lean against a plywood wall. A moth flutters past you, and a hand grabs it in midair. Hey, that's not your hand.
Also, why are you just grabbing moths?
Right. You spin around to face two kids about your own age. A red-haired girl and a boy with shaggy dark hair. She's chewing on something. He probably ate the moth.
Oh.
You. Both give you odd, closed-mouthed smiles.
I'm Cammy, and this is Jack, the girl tells you. I guess you got glumped just like we did.
How is it that everybody... Okay, because the sign said glump, because apparently that's the sound that the stairs make when they transform into the slide. But, like, how is it that everybody knows how to say it exactly the same?
Right.
Like everybody knows, yeah, that's the sound they make. Exactly.
Glumped.
That's the onomatopoeia.
Right. It was that striking of a sound. You know, you just knew. And right here, when I first read that word, I was like, yeah, there's an F at the end, but it's mostly just glomp. Just glomp.
Do you think R.L. Stein knew what glomping was?
Yeah, he seems like he's hip. He gets it. Maybe this is where it originated from.
Oh, God.
Goosebump fans. Goosebump Choose Your Own Adventure fans. You.
How long have you guys been here?
You ask. We're not sure, Jack swallows noisily, but I know I had short hair when I got here. You look at Jack's wild mane. This is bad news.
We really are trapped in the back room.
We really are.
See, it's hard to guess time. We can't tell whether it's day or night in Milo's maze,
Cammy explains.
Milo's maze?
You repeat.
So the guy in the comic shop is called Milo? Like the guy from the Cellar of Scary Stories?
He is the guy from the Cellar of Scary Stories,
Cammy replies.
Or he was. The comic was canceled years ago.
But if there's no more comic, how could... Wait a minute. Comic characters aren't real. This is impossible.
Jack just shivers. With Milo, anything is possible. He blames kids for not buying enough of his comic books.
Is that why he trapped us down here?
You ask. Jack shakes his shaggy head. We aren't sure. Sometimes we catch him spying on us. We think maybe he's trying to scare us.
Trying? I'm scared to death.
You sputter. We saw Milo last week, Cammy remarks. The werewolf was chasing us. Milo popped around the corner and stared at us. Then he shook his head, like he was annoyed. I'll never make my comeback this way, he said. Remember Jack? Jack doesn't reply. He's staring over your shoulder. You turn to see a bug crawling up the plywood wall. A big bug. Jack grabs for it, and Cammy snarls at him. It sounds like you'd expect from a wild dog, not from a kid. Jack and Cammy seem ready to fight. You notice how skinny they are, and dirty, and how long their fingernails have grown. Ew. Suddenly Cammy seems to remember.
Starving children.
Right? Man, R.L. Stein. Suddenly Cammy seems to remember you're there.
Look, you need help, she tells you. Why not come with us? Yeah, you can meet the other kids, Jack adds.
Your eyes widen. You mean there are more of... Oh, that's you.
Oh, you mean there are more of us down here?
Jack nods. We help each other. Getting help, even from strangers, sounds good to you.
But then again, you're not too far from that tricked stairway. You might be able to find a way out on your own. Do you go with Jack and Cammy, or do you turn them down and go alone?
No, we gotta go with them.
Gotta go with them?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's dangerous to go alone. Go with them!
Assembling our Goosebumps party of children.
That's right. In this classic Choose Your Own Adventure RPG.
You always have like one friend who's a boy and one that's a girl.
Yup. These dirty, weird-looking kids. No more. Let's just throw more insults their way.
Yeah.
These ugly, nasty children know more about this maze than you do.
I'll go with you guys.
You decide.
Fine, Kenny replies. Follow us.
They lead you quickly through the maze. You're more lost than ever now. They yank you back when you reach a doorway. Jack raises a finger to his lips to the "Be quiet" sign. You don't understand why. It sounds as if somebody is using a chainsaw on the other side.
Yeah.
But as you tiptoe through, you find the noise doesn't come from a machine. It comes from a pile of bandages on the floor. No, wait. Those bandages are wrapped around a body. Eek! A mummy! And the mummy isn't dead. It's snoring. Jack steps right over the sleeping creature. So does Cammy. They both beckon to you. The mummy makes weird gargling noises as you go to step over it. You're shaking so badly, your toe pokes the creature right in the side.
Hey.
Right? Rude. That mummy's sleeping. The snores stop. Withered eyelids open. Dried out eyes like black raisins glare up at you. You leap straight into the air and zoom past Cammy and Jack. For the next few twists and turns through the maze, you lead the way. They finally catch up with you. Take it easy, Jack pants. Old mate. Menace?
Yeah, I thought that said old memes.
Yeah, old memes. Old Menace probably went right back to sleep.
Yeah, Cammy adds. After a couple of 1,000 years, he needs his rest.
Give you such a crook in the neck.
Yeah. Good job, baby. I like that you always reference that. Hell yeah.
That really was a mummy?
You gasp.
Cammy nods. The maze is full of old-time monsters. That's why you have to.
Look out! Jack suddenly yells. You turn just in time to see a figure leap from the top of the maze wall. All you see is a pair of blazing red eyes flying towards you. There's barely time to raise an arm to protect yourself. The eyes are right on you. You feel hot breath on your face. Then jaws clamp shut on your arm.
Oh, werewolf, help, it's got me. I can't see.
You shriek. Then you notice your arm isn't bleeding. It doesn't even hurt. The creature has no teeth. Whining like an unhappy dog, the beast man leaps away.
You were lucky, Cammy says.
If that had turned out to be the frenzied flesh eater? She shakes her head. The maze creatures are all from Milo's horror comics, Jack explains. Frankenstein, Mayonnaise, Wolfie.
No way. Those things don't exist.
You burst out. You saw them, Jack insists. It's Milo's magic. Jack and Cammy start walking again. You tag after them.
Wait, if Milo is magic, why didn't he save his comic book? Why is he stuck running that dopey shop?
You demand. You turn a corner and crash into your two guides. They're frozen in the doorway of a big room. It's full of kids, and facing them is... Bit of a cliffhanger.
Milo the mutant. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, thank you so much, DJ, for subscribing for 6 months in advance. That's so cool. You're so cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Beep. And I just patted Ergo in place of patting you on the head, DJ. But thank you very much. Much appreciated. I hope you're enjoying yourself. But you want to go ahead, Ergo. Who is this again?
Oh, Milo the mutant.
You gasp. He hasn't spotted you. Should you jump in? Or should you run? You jumping in or you running, Ergo? What are you gonna do?
Just jump and stab him with our shiv. No. Yeah, you know what? Let's go for it. We'll tackle him.
Tackle him. Let's do it. Milo is ranting as you, Cammy, and Jack sneak up on him. I didn't do this all for fun, you know, the pumpkin-faced little man yells. You're all down here for a very serious reason, and I want you to... No! Milo yells in shock as the three of you pile onto him. For a little guy, he's surprisingly strong. Maybe he gets his muscles from shifting around those huge boxes of comic books. But strong or not, there's more of you than there are of him. It's a short, sharp battle, but in the end, Jack has Milo's right arm, Cammy holds down his left, and you're perched on his chest. You did it! One of the captive kids cheer. You got Milo! Everyone in the room is whooping and hollering to celebrate your victory. You peer down at the helpless former comic book host. He seems oddly calm.
Fine.
You yell over the noise.
We got him. Now what do we do with him?
Make him let us go! One of the kids yells. Yeah, Cammy cries. Milo must know the way out of here. But you find yourself thinking back to the speech Milo was making when you tackled him. He said he had a very serious reason for keeping the kids in the maze. What could it be? If you tell Milo to let everyone go, we turn to that page. If you ask Milo what he's up to, we turn to a different page.
Might as well ask him what he's up to. Hear his evil villain speech. Hear his motivation.
Right.
Why?
You ask.
Why did you do this to us?
Milo looks at you in surprise. You know, you're the only one who ever asked. This is the deal, kid. I've got a shot at a comeback. One of the TV networks wants to make a show out of the cellar of scary stories. He frowns. But they're not sure my stuff is scary enough. So I got my old creature crew together and glomped a bunch of you kids to see if you still got it.
I got put on a list.
Jeez. Oh, man. That sound effect. Why does it have to be glomp? What did you think? What did you think? They can't say glump. Yeah. You remember the slow-moving Frankenstein, the snoozing mummy, the toothless werewolf. To tell you the truth, you answer.
Oh yeah, to tell you the truth, your creatures seem pretty lame.
Lame? Milo growls. Lame? Your prisoner flings you off. Uh-oh.
Hey guys, I could use a little help.
You call to the other kids. Milo makes a magical gesture. All the kids disappear.
Oh god, he just Thanos snapped them.
Oh no! He used ninjutsu! You're alone with Milo the mutant. So, Milo glares at you. The greatest monsters of all time aren't scary enough for you? You think you could do better?
I mean, yeah, you're kind of just copying, like, the Universal monsters. Like, you could come up with, like, some original monsters.
Yeah, come on. And, yeah, Tirif, yes, please do. Call the Popo.
Yeah, he has kidnapped a bunch of children.
And kept him in a basement, yeah, in a maze.
With monsters.
They've been eating bugs, too, you know?
Yeah, what the fuck?
You might as well go for it.
Yes, I could do better.
You answer boldly. Yeah, right, Milo scoffs. Okay, close your eyes and think of the scariest creature you can.
I just read them. Sorry.
You close your eyes, remembering the horrifying creature from a book you read, a Goosebumps book. Wow,
my God.
wow, Bob. The creature, King Jelly Jam, was a huge, quivering balloon of purple slime. Its watery yellow eyes peered over a blob of a nose running with white goo. It had big, rubbery lips that blubbered and burped. It smelled like dirty sweat socks filled with rotten fish, or worse. And its gross, gooey body was always sweating, not just plain sweat. King Jelly Jam sweated live snails. Hey, that's the same monster from the one I did.
That was in, it was one of the monsters that the evil knight summoned.
Wow.
Man, this really is the Goosebumps cinematic universe.
Yeah, it really is.
Or literary universe, I guess. It's not a movie.
Yet.
It's all connected. It's all coming together.
They made one Goosebumps book into a movie. Remember they made the Goosebumps, so we could maybe get King Jelly Jam in another, you never know. Oh no.
I mean, maybe it was. I don't really remember that movie.
Yeah, valid, me too. This is really bad. Milo is changing, mutating into King Jelly Jam.
Oh, no.
It's a good thing he didn't think of like an anime waifu or something by accident, you know?
That must be awkward.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, so he's basically that thing from like the Harry Potter books that turns into whatever you're afraid of.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, basically.
This is where JK got the idea from.
Whoa. Milo must have read your mind and changed himself into your worst nightmare. His new body heaves and wobbles. He stares down at you through DJ Jelly Jam's gushy yellow eyes.
Did you say DJ Jelly Jam?
I did.
Why did you?
I think I looked over at DJ I think I looked over there.
Yo, everybody, DJ Jelly Jam in the house. That does sound like it would be a DJ name.
DJ Jelly Jam in the house. Oh, Lord. Yeah. If DJ Jelly Jam's not in this book? I guess not yet.
DJ Jelly Jam. Up next is the Rude Sandstorm.
But yeah, no, I looked in the chat and I saw that. Yeah, so that was my bad. He stares down at you through King Jelly Jam's gushy yellow eyes. Well, he asks in a deep gurgling voice, what do you think? Am I scary enough? You gag. You almost forgotten that King Jelly Jam had disgusting bad breath. But Milo got it down perfectly. Your teeth are chattering so badly you can't answer right now, but that gives you a chance to think. Is Milo playing with you? Does he just want you to admit you're scared before he does you in? On the other hand, Milo isn't in an unfamiliar body now. Maybe he doesn't know how it works yet. Maybe you should try to beat him. Do you admit that you're scared, Ergo? Or do you go up against him? Are you honest, or do you just punch this blob? What do you do?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we can fight a blob.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a blob.
Yeah.
It'll just...
You could just end up falling in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we just say, oh yeah, that's... Because it's all... He's just trying to find something scary, so I guess if we just help him with his goal, then maybe he'll let us go, I guess.
Here you go. We're going to appease his ego. Okay, I give. Oh,
okay, I give. You're scary.
You croak. The mutated Milo monster grabs you with huge purple hands. Stinking slime oozes over you as he holds you in front of his face. His yellow eyes blare. You sure? He demands. You're sure I'm scary? You can't answer because you're holding your breath. Boy, does he reek! The sour stench washes over you. You can feel it on your face. It stings like acid. Milo shakes you. Answer me! His monster voice booms.
Yes, I'm sure you're scary.
You scream. Now it's not only your face that hurts. The skin all over your body seems to bubble and sag.
Oh god.
So do the organs inside.
Oh god.
Even your bones seem to be melting.
What's happening to me?
You scream. Your throat feels clogged with slime, and your eyes go all blurry. Are you turning into it?
It's just dissolving me.
Oh yeah, it could be either. When your eyes clear, you find Milo standing over you. He's changed back to his usual ugly, but not so scary self. A big grin stretches across his warty face.
You didn't kill me?
You stammer. Your voice. It comes out as a gurgling roar. Kill you? Milo laughs. Kid, you're my gold mine. I'm going to make you my partner, my star.
What?
You sit up and bob squishily for a moment. What's going on? Why is Milo so far below? You wipe a drop of sweat from your forehead. What's that snail coming from? And when did your hand turn purple? Oh no, Milo has mutated you into King Jelly Jam. We'll make tons of money, Milo gloats. He waves a hand in front of his face. Of course, some of it will have to go on breath mints and deodorant for you. Your show is a big hit. You start with TV, but soon you're starring in movies. Huge crowds turn out whenever you make a personal appearance. They love you. But the real moneymakers are your El Grosso snail farms. Where do you get the snails? No sweat.
Wow.
And...
okay.
Is that a good ending? I can't tell.
Or a disgusting blob monster.
Right?
But... wow.
Here.
That was something.
Here, let's see. Where do you want to go?
Should we try another, path?
Yeah, so, do you want to go back to the first choice you had? Or do you want to go back farther in?
Yeah, let's just start at the beginning.
At the beginning? Okay, so you went downstairs last time. Do you want to check out the rack, or do you want to go back downstairs?
Yeah, let's check out the rack.
You've got to see if that $2 comic is really the famous first issue of Super Doer. But when you grab the spinner rack, it starts to turn by itself.
The spinner rack from Pokemon?
Yes. Still worse, the metal rack seemed to have glued itself to your hand. You can't let go.
Oh.
Your jaw drops as the moving rack yanks you off your feet. You're dragged around in a circle, and the rack keeps speeding up. Soon, to your horror, you can't touch the floor anymore. It's like some sort of weird carnival ride. The rack is whizzing around and you're flying through the air. Hey! Whoops. Hey, mister! Oh, that's you.
Hey, mister!
I just like the way you said it. You yell to the store owner, but the words are torn from your lips by a screaming wind. You feel as if you're caught in a tornado. You clench your teeth to keep from groaning. Your body is stretched out like a warm piece of taffy. You shift your grip. One hand touches a comic on the rack. The comic starts to glow. Now suddenly, there's a new pull. You're being sucked into the glowing comic. Whoa! I like how we both were gonna go, whoa, instinctively. Your body feels as if giants have been using you for a game of tug of war.
Wow.
You're sick and dizzy from the spinning, but you notice something is wrong. The world seems strangely flat. The colors are very bright. You peer up at an incredibly blue sky. Sky? Wait a minute. How did you get outside? An elbow jabs you. Someone steps on your foot. You aren't just outside. You're in a crowd. What a crowd! You're packed in so tightly you can barely move. The person behind you is actually breathing down your neck. Tira, if you don't spin in tug of war, unless it's a Beyblade battle. I don't know. Could this be a parade?
What's going on?
You ask. No one answers you, but a voice cries, "Here it comes!" A shadow falls across you. When you see what's blocking the sunlight, your eyes grow big. It's a gigantic tin can with arms and legs and a head. No, it's a robot.
I don't believe this.
You gasp in a strangled voice.
I can't believe you've done this.
You'd better believe it. That thing is as big as a skyscraper, and it's striding straight for you.
Gotta go with Pedro.
Nice, we're on page 69.
Yikes!
You shout.
Everybody run!
You push, you shove, you try to get out of the giant robot's path, but the crowd is too thick. You're trapped. Hey! A whiny voice says in your ear, "I know you!" You turn around and spot a familiar face in the crowd. It's a kid from school named Wally. Come to think about it, he hasn't been in class lately.
Where are we? What's going on?
You cry. You just got here on the Spinnerack Express, huh? Wally asks. Okay, I'll make this fast. You're stuck inside a comic, in the comic book's universe.
Yeah, right.
You roll your eyes. It's true, Wally insists. Now here's the deal. We can shift from comic to comic using a magic word, but if you use it too often, you'll turn into an ink blot. He shudders. It happened to a kid I was with, Alex. He tried to leave this comic. Now he's just a smear. You glance anxiously at the robot. Wow, yeah, Bobby just killing people here. You glance anxiously at the robot. It's awfully close.
We'll be smeared too if we don't get out of here.
You declare. The crowd still isn't moving, and the robot is only a couple of giant steps away.
Have you used these magic words?
You ask. Wally nods. I started out in another comic. I was some superhero's dopey sidekick. Then I met Alex, and we came here. All you have to do is think of another comic and say the magic words. Okay.
Oh, okay. That gets you to another comic. But isn't there a way to get back home? Back to the real universe?
You ask. Wally glances at you. I think so. A mad scientist can send you, but you have to talk him into helping you. You can barely hear him. People are screaming and bumping into you.
What are the magic words?
You beg. Wally closes his eyes thinking. Then he yells, Guest shot! And he disappears. You think of the two comics you've been studying on the comic rack. Both of them have mad scientist villains. Will the magic words take you to them? Time to find out. You close your eyes. Do you visit the world of Superdoer or Ballistic Bug? Yeah, Ballistic Bug.
You know, let's go with Ballistic Bug. I like the idea of just a bug with guns, I guess. I guess that's what that means.
I guess.
Is he just a blue beetle? That's probably what it's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, let's find out. You shriek at the top of your lungs.
Guest shot. It sounds like very anime. Like,
it does. Something you're about to do, like a power up.
Like what they, yeah, it would be like a persona thing or something that they use to activate their powers.
Yeah. When you open your eyes, everything is still dark. For a second, you think it's the shadow of the robot's foot coming down. Then you realize it's nighttime. With a sigh, you lean against a nearby brick wall. You made it. You're safe. Of course. Now you have to find out where you are. Too bad it's so dark. Suddenly, a yellow light glares around you. You blink. You're blinded. Then you hear a faint buzz. It rises to a whine. Your dazzled eyes see a figure in a tight brown costume with flashing insect wings coming out of its back. Ballistic Bug! You're in big trouble, the bug says menacingly. Trouble? You look down. There are tools in your hand. You also notice an open safe next to you. Uh-oh. You're a burglar. Ballistic Bug doesn't like burglars. You better jump to someplace new, and fast! To jump to a different adventure of Ballistic Bug. Or try a totally new comic, Ergo.
There's like no option to like reason with him?
Nope.
He's just gonna shoot you, I guess.
He just sees burglar. He's just gonna do you in.
I guess he is the punisher of this universe. I guess let's try a different adventure. Maybe this time we won't be...
Tirif, just kill him.
Yeah, you have tools, right? You can hit him with something.
Then he'd really get you, though, because can you imagine if his name is just as hard as he is, he's probably going to have more firepower than you and your little tools. But that would be an interesting adventure. All right, so let's see if a new adventure will help us. You think hard. Then you yell.
Guest shot.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Instantly, the shadows vanish in bright fluorescent light. Golly, a voice says in your ear, look at that! You gaze around. Huh? You're in the middle of a bunch of school kids dressed in old-fashioned clothes. What's the deal? You'd expected to find yourself in another adventure of Ballistic Bug. Instead, you've been dropped into some nerdy school trip. Nervously, you glance upward. With your luck, another giant robot will turn up any second. Gosh, Pee-wee, the girl beside you exclaims. We're visiting a nuclear power plant. Isn't this neat? Yeah, a bigger kid with a black crew neck sneers. Maybe for a dweeb like Pee-wee Park Bench. Is he talking about you? You glance down at yourself. Your eyes bug out. Weirder and weirder. You've changed into a nerdy-looking character in a bow tie. Then you realize who you're supposed to be. Pee-wee Parkbench, the secret identity of Ballistic Bug.
What?
You are now Ballistic Bug, Ergo.
Also, Pee-wee Parkbench.
Bobby Boy.
Also, wait, is Ballistic Bug a child? Like,
I guess so. Oh, well, I will admit, Surican, I'm hydrating with the liquidy beverage of the mountain, so it's not really as good as water, but I will still hydrate. Yeah, Tirif says what I was thinking. Don't hate on my man Pee-wee Parkbench, Ergo. Don't do it.
Okay.
The kid with the buzz cut pushes past, stomping on your toes.
Hey!
You complain in a geeky voice.
Watch it!
Make me! Buzzcut sneers. You grin. Okay, he asked for it. You try to call upon Ballistic Bug's insect strength. Nothing happens. Then you remember what the girl next to you said. This must be the famous visit to the nuclear power plant. The one where Pee-wee gets his incredible superpowers. You don't have them. Yet.
Let's see. Gotta get bit by a radioactive bug.
I thought it was going to be a radioactive power plant that would bite you. It's a plant in the power plant that bites you. I don't know. Yes, sir, it can the magical mountain juice. That's what they should have called Mountain Dew. You tag along with the tour group, thinking hard. You don't even glance at the huge, powerful machines in the nuclear plant. Instead, you keep your eyes peeled for a glowing insect. That's the creature that will bite Pee-wee's Parkbench.
Okay, yeah. So he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, with the P alliteration, I was like, oh, this is definitely Peter Parker.
Yeah. Peter Parker Parkbench. God.
Bobby Boy over here doing the Lord's work. That's the creature that will bite Pee-wee Parkbench and give him his amazing insect powers. At last, you spot the bug. Whoa, is that thing ugly? It's obviously some kind of nuclear mutant. It looks like an overgrown roach with a huge, nasty stinger. You couldn't really see that part in the comics. All the picture showed was a line in the air and the word buzz in the next picture. Pee-wee Parkbench yelled, ow. Now you can see why. Do you really want to let that ugly thing sting you? True, you want to make sure comic history doesn't change, but you also want to get back home. Maybe you should just jump to some other comic and keep searching for a mad scientist. Better decide fast. The bug is coming your way. Ergo, are you going to become Ballistic Bug? Or not? Or do you use the magic words to leap into another adventure?
No, because also if we use it too much...
You'll turn into an eat
then we'll get smeared. So... And we just used it like twice in a row, so I think we gotta do it.
Bug bite?
We gotta turn into the Roach Man.
There we go. Here, Buggy. Oh,
here, Buggy.
You whisper. You're worried. This is an important moment in comic book history. If one detail isn't right, there might be no Ballistic Bug. The glowing bug scuttles toward you. You stick out your arm. Wow, look at the size of that stinger. The bug buzzes around your arm. Then it strikes.
Yow!
You yell. It's a lot more painful than Pee-wee Parkbench made it look in the comic. In fact, it feels as if someone injected molten lava into your veins. You collapse gasping. You can't feel your hands or feet anymore. Something has definitely gone wrong. Remember how you worried about one detail being different at this moment in history? Well, there was. You were here, not Pee-wee Parkbench. And it seems you're allergic to mutant bug bites. Fatally allergic. The world starts to vanish in a red haze. Maybe you should start looking for a mad doctor. The end.
What the fuck?
That didn't make sense. I will say.
Yeah, also, I thought
we are Pee-wee Parkbench.
Yeah, what's happening?
No, we're cosplaying as Pee-wee Parkbench, I guess, according to Bobby's sign here.
You just died.
Yep, we did. Man.
Can we go back and see what happens if we jump, I guess?
Yeah. Hang on.
Is that also going to be a death?
Can I just click backspace?
Click back, yeah.
Okay. Alright, so you want to use the magic words?
Let's see. I want to see if they're just both deaths.
No, at least not insta-deaths. Alright. When you shout the magic words, the universe does another quick change. You spin through the air, incredible brightness glares around you, then you thud to the floor. You shake your head to clear your brain. You seem to be on a stage. You must be in an old theater or something. The blazing light comes from the fist of a man wearing black armor, goggles, and a metal face mask. It's Dr. Doof! Oh, Doofenshmirtz! Ah, we were in the Phineas and Ferb comic universe. Ah, brilliant. Barry the Platypus. Ballistic Bug. One of the greatest mad scientists in comics. He's also Ballistic Bug's worst enemy. And right now, he's aiming his armored fists at you. Uh-oh. That means he's going to zap you with a blast bolt. Oh, thank you, Tirif. I love Dr. Doofenshmirtz's voice, so that is high praise. Your brain is frozen with fear, so your body takes over on instinct. The gentle hum you've been noticing in the background rises into a frantic whine. Then you take off in flight. Hey, how'd you do that? There's something vibrating on your back. You crane to see over your shoulder. Wow, you've got wings! Giant, shimmering insect wings. You're so astonished, you freeze. That includes your wings, which stop beating. Instantly, you drop down about 4 feet. Lucky for you, a blast of energy sizzles right over your head. The blast bolt. It explodes right where you should have been. Your wings start to buzz again. You notice now that your body is encased in some kind of sparkling brown armor. Excellent! Your new guest shot has turned you into the star of the comic, Ballistic Bug. You zip around, ducking Dr. Doof's blast bolts. Then you realize you can fight back. You've got superpowers besides your insect wings. I really want to know if the name Dr. Doof has always been used, or if in Phineas and Ferb they were inspired by Goosebumps. I don't know.
I mean, that would be funny. I mean, I'm assuming it's just because it's Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom, Dr. Doof. Yeah.
Like a doofus.
But I am curious. Now I kind of want to know.
If Phineas and Ferb was inspired by those...
By Goosebumps.
The writers, yeah.
You should try a blast, or should you try a blast from where you are? Or should you close in? So your aim will be better. Ergo, long range or close up and personal?
Or insecto-electric hornet sting. I mean, that seems like it sounds like a close range thing, right? We gotta sting him.
Yeah, you think so?
I guess we should get up close and personal.
All right, Ergo's getting close and personal. You dodge 2 more blasts from Dr. Doof, then zoom into a dive bombing attack. Your insecto-electric hornet sting is built into your helmet's antenna. The charge builds up all through your body. When you're almost on top of Dr. Doof, you let it go. A bolt of green energy leaps out of the antenna. It slams into your enemy's chest, knocking him flat.
Huh.
You cry. You do a triumphant loop-the-loop in the air.
Take that, Doof.
This is kind of fun, you think. At last, you're getting the hang of this superhero thing. You buzz around the room, throwing punches at the air. You want to be ready for Dr. Doof's next attack. Then you notice that the evil doctor isn't getting up. He lies sprawled on the stage, helpless. Not moving. Did you just murder him, man?
Fucking murdered.
That shock shouldn't have knocked all the fight out of him, you think. In fact, his super armor should have protected him against your insecto-electric hornet sting. Apparently, it didn't work this time. You start to get nervous.
Doc?
You call. You hover over the doctor's platform.
Yeah, because also the whole point of this is that we need a mad scientist to help get us out.
Right? Oh god. Is he still breathing? Doof's metal muscled hand moves like a striking snake. Before you can buzz off, he grabs you by the throat. He faked you out, Ergo!
Oh my god.
He faked you!
That's why he's the evil scientist.
Alright. Do you try to break free? Or do you try to reason?
Let's reason with them. Duck, you've got to... No, I'm just Marty. I'm just Marty McFly. Duck, you've got to listen to me. You've got to go back to the future. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not Ballistic Bug.
You croak. Sure, Dr. Doof sneers. You're actually the Queen of the May, and I'm the King of Albania.
What does that mean, the Queen of the May?
I don't know.
What does that mean? I'm Pee Wee Parker, exactly.
Yeah.
Listen, you idiot. I'm Urk. You're Urkel.
Did I do that?
The armored gloves tighten on your throat. Too late you realize this wasn't the time to go insulting Dr. Doof. Frantically, you wave your hands, trying to get him to let go. Instead, the pressure just increases. There's no talking to him. You'll have to use the magic guest word or magic words to find another friendlier mad scientist. Your lips form the words.
Guest shot.
But you never speak them. Neither words nor air can get out of you. No air can get in either. Your lungs ache, spots dance before your eyes. You're losing consciousness fast. Well, at last, you've learned one lesson. Mad scientists get mad very easily. You're dead. The end.
Wow, just got choked to death.
Yep. Do you try to break free then?
Sure.
Do you want to try that?
Let's try to get to the end of this storyline.
Your wings buzz frantically. You can't break Dr. Doof's chokehold. I've got you, insect! He roars, shaking you. You try every trick you've read in a ballistic bug comic book, but nothing weakens the grip of those steel-clad fingers. You're about half a short breath of choking as Dr. Doof climbs to his feet. But then the evil doctor hauls you close and whispers. Have you gone completely batty, bug? That sting bolt of yours wasn't in the script. Script?
Is he self-aware? What script?
You sputter. Oh, ha! Very funny, Dr. Doof snaps. He shifts his grip on your throat. The script says you're supposed to beat me by shaking the floor to pieces with your supersonic buzzeronic power. But no, you have to make a grandstand by playing with your little lightning bolt. Thanks a lot. I could have gotten hurt. Well, wasn't that the idea? Tira, R.L. Stein just loves murdering children. Yeah, it's true. He seems to. You blink in confusion behind your helmet mask. This is too weird. Is Dr. Doof saying that all these great comic battles, the ones you've always loved, are rigged?
Oh my god, it's just like when kids find out about wrestling.
No!
It's all scripted.
Oh well, at least that explains how the superheroes always win.
Yeah, also it's literally a book, so I guess it shouldn't
Right?
This isn't actually like shocking.
Mm-hmm. But you can't think about that right now. A furious Dr. Doof is hissing in your ear. Well, I want some answers, bug! You gurgle as his steel fingers tighten around your throat.
Look, Doc. I'm sorry, okay?
You croak. Then you get a bright idea.
I'm in so many different series. I get mixed up sometimes about which script is which.
Dr. Doof scowls. Sure, rub it in about how popular you are. I don't know what all those fans see in you with those stupid antennas sticking out of your helmet. Anybody with any brains could see I've got a cooler costume. There's one good thing about this weird situation. Dr. Doof seems like a reasonable guy. Sort of. Once he calms down, you should be able to talk to him. Doof gives you one more shake, then he sighs. Well, you've got a job to do, unless you want to call a break. To continue this phony fight, or take a break. What do you do?
I mean, I guess take a break, because, yeah, we need to get out of here. I could use a rest.
You gasp. Dr. Doof releases you. All right, he yells, glaring into the darkness overhead. We're taking a break. Put it in that or something. Ballistic and I need to talk. You stare upward. Who's he talking to up there? When you ask, the mad scientist shrugs in his armor. Whoever runs this crazy world must be up there. That's where our scripts come from anyway. A brilliant idea bursts in your brain. Maybe you don't need the help of a mad scientist to get home. Maybe you can take your problem right up to the person or people in charge of the comic book universe. What you gonna do, Ergo?
This is getting so, like, meta.
Do you stick with Dr. Doof? Or do you go over his head?
I guess we'll talk to God.
Ergo chooses religion!
I guess we'll ask God to help us.
Tear up Stan Lee, please.
Yeah.
In Stan Lee's name.
Stanley appears, he's like, hey, kid.
Excelsior! You flutter your wings and arrow up into the darkness. Wait! Where are you going? Dr. Doof cries.
I'm going to see if I can get away.
You answer. You fly higher. You still don't see anyone.
Hey, if there's anyone up there, listen. I'm not really Ballistic Bug. I'm just a kid who got trapped in a magic comic shop.
You yell. You're gasping from the effort of flying so high and so fast. White spots form before your eyes. Wait a minute. They're not spots. They're stars. You're out of time, out of air, and out of luck. You're already plummeting back to Earth as you black out. Next month, the new issue of Ballistic Bug is due to hit the stands. But when Horace Grumbacher arrives at his favorite comic book shop to buy the new comic, it isn't there. Ballistic Bug has gone out of print, the store owner explains. But listen, kid, I've got a great new comic for you. The superhero is called Powerful Pancake. He holds a copy of a comic book with a squash-looking superhero on the front. A superhero that looks a lot like you. Too bad. What a flat ending to your story.
Wow, that's a terrible comic.
Right?
And also, we just flew into space and died.
Yeah, basically.
We're too stupid. Too stupid to live.
Do you want to stick with Dr. Doof then?
Okay, we'll stick with Dr. Doof.
Okay, that's right, Perry the Platypus.
Also, yeah, Dr. Doof just yelled up at the sky, like, why did we think that we had to fly into space?
I guess, well, I mean, wouldn't you try to go up higher? Just to, maybe make it a little easier in case Dr. Doof didn't try to reach over and choke you to death, be like, what are you doing? Anyway, you tried to meet God and you did. See, Ergo, yeah. You reached for God and God said, yo, and just went, what's up?
Give him the powerful pancake.
You decide to try for Dr. Doof's help. After all, he doesn't seem like a bad guy, once you get to know him.
Look, Doc, I have a big problem. I don't really belong here.
You whisper.
I'm a creep.
I'm a bug boy. You explain about the comic shop and what happened to you. Dr. Doof listens without saying a word. You wish you'd take off those goggles and the metal mask. It'd be nice to see the expression on his face. What if he thinks you're just a total nutcase? But you keep on until you've told the whole story. When you run out of words, Dr. Doof stands there silently for a long moment. I always knew we were doing some sort of entertainment thing, he finally mutters. But comic books? He shakes his head. I'm so embarrassed. Embarrassed? Forget about that, you reply.
That. Is there any way to get out of here?
You reply impatiently. Dr. Doof thinks it over. At last he declares, yes! By turning you into a platypus! Then you can get on TV! Dr. Doof wags an armored finger at you. You should have figured it out yourself. Whenever my blast bolt hits your insecto electric hornet sting, there's a brief tesseract reaction. Tesseract, huh?
Tesseract, oh, what?
You ask. A hole in space, Doof explains. If we fired each other at close range, and I heterodyne my blast bolts.
If I make them hetero.
Wow.
In English, please.
You say as politely as you can. That wasn't very polite.
Yeah. No, that's as politely as I can.
Oh, okay. And little words, no doubt, Dr. Doof huffs. All right, we'll make a hole in space and step through. Whatever.
Let's do it.
You cry. You stand face to face with Dr. Doof, readying your weapons. On 3, Doof calls. 1, 2, ba-boom! When your eyes finally clear, a shimmering black hole floats between you and Dr. Doof. Dr. Doof suddenly leaps into the hole.
Wait.
You cry. Where does he think he's going? And then you hear him scream.
Oh.
Do you follow Dr. Doof, or do you look before you leave?
I mean, I guess we might as well look.
If you look before you leave, okay.
Oh, Doc! Hey, Doc, are you okay?
You shout into the hole in space. No answer. Taking a deep breath, you stick your head through the hole. You blink. You're gazing at an everyday street outside a very familiar comic shop. Dr. Doof is standing there peering in the window. I thought so. I thought he'd probably be screaming like, oh my god, what is this weird 3D world? You know?
What were you screaming about?
You demand. This world is so different, Dr. Doof replies. His voice shakes. You realize he's used to the flat, bright universe of the comics.
Yeah. I guess the colors seem pretty dull.
You reply. It's a dark world, Dr. Doof agrees. But a whole new world for me to conquer! Uh-oh. Dr. Doof wants to conquer your world? You never thought of that possibility when you asked for his help. You've got to stop him. But how? Then you notice something. Even though you're halfway into your own universe, you still got the costume and wings of Ballistic Bug. You can stalk Dr. Doof, just the way the hero does in the comics. Oh
no you don't, Doof.
You cry. You try to leap forward and grab Dr. Doof, but you can't move. The hole in the universe has shrunk, and you're stuck. Dr. Doof laughs. Soon the hole will close completely. It's curtains for you, Bug. Then he strolls off to terrorize your hometown.
Doof, come back.
You shout helplessly. Well, at least your top half made it home safely, but the shrinking hole cuts off your rear.
Wow. Wow.
Have you gotten, like, all bad endings?
Basically. Yeah, we've been cut in half. We flew into space. We got choked to death. Got turned into, like, a gross blob. I don't think I've gotten any good endings, right?
Yeah, you haven't. You got it. And you said you were going to get the good ending the first try. You haven't gotten shamed, though, yet, which is the true prize.
Let's go back just a little bit.
Okay. Tell me when.
Okay, fine. We won't look. We'll just go through.
Follow Dr. Doof? Okay.
Yeah, we won't hesitate this time.
Okay. No time to worry about where you're going. You leap into a tornado of light. It whirls around you, faster and faster. Your body stretches like taffy. You're becoming Monkey D. Luffy. Then with
Fight a gum gum.
Gotta go, guy.
Just another one of Ballistic Beetle's powers.
He turns into Luffy. Then, with a snap, you're back to normal. You're in sunshine, in the middle of the street. A horn blares behind you as a school bus screeches to a halt. Wait a minute. It's not just any school bus. It's your school bus. The one you missed at the start of this strange adventure. I would have stopped, this annoyed bus driver tells you. You didn't have to get yourself almost run over. You climb aboard, clutching your school books. Where did they come from? You don't know. And what happened to Dr. Doof? Certainly there's no sign of him here. A breeze blows a piece of paper through the bus window. It's a page from a comic. It only has one large panel. A chill runs down your spine when you see the picture. It shows a horrified Dr. Doof, frozen in the act of jumping through a hole in space.
What?
I guess it's a good ending. Like, maybe he had what happened to you, even though he went first.
Well, he's just I don't know. It's a different timeline.
It's unclear.
I guess maybe it's just, in this timeline, it's like, oh, he's just not supposed to exist in this universe, so he got turned into a piece of paper.
I guess,
or whatever.
Maybe that's it.
I guess that's weird. And also, we went back in time.
I guess so. I mean,
so none of that ever happened.
But it's a good ending for you. Take revel in that. You're alive.
I guess.
You're here. You made it. So I would consider that a win. And a tier of don't tell him about taxes. You got paid when you turn into a blah blah. This is true. That was a semi-good one because you did become a star. Do you want to see if you can get a better ending with the backdoors one?
What? Or the back rooms?
Yeah.
You want to go back to the basement? All right.
Unless you want to go back to the comic strip stuff.
No, I feel like we've tried enough. These comics.
Hang on. I just went back all the way anyway.
Yeah.
Here, let's go to. I think it was here.
I don't know if that.
Oh yeah. Where we check downstairs, right?
Okay,
yeah.
So we go downstairs. We get glomp. Okay.
Okay. To go back to see who's following you, or get out of there fast. Because when we do that, we find out it's the two kids.
No.
Right?
Maybe.
Oh no, wait. Oh yeah, it's
That's
Frankenstein, right?
Yeah, we go back and we see it's Frankenstein.
On, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, tall guy. Yeah, it's Frankenstein. So do you still want to meet Frankenstein, or do you want to try to run?
Try getting out of there fast.
Okay.
We already know who it is.
Okay. You do your best impression of Sonic. You walk faster and faster until you break into a run. At first, the footsteps fade. And then you hear loud clomping. It sounds as if there's a herd of elephants hot on your heels. You glance back as you go through a doorway.
Ow!
You yell. You brush against jagged plywood. A 2-inch splinter stabs you in the arm.
It's not even a splinter at that point, that's just a stick.
Right? Basically. Gritting your teeth, you pull the splinter out. Blood stains your t-shirt. Yeah, that's not... Yeah, that's a wood shiv.
Just a wooden knife.
From several turns, behind you comes a rumbling roar. Uh-oh. Can whatever is chasing you smell blood? The clomping sounds turn into a crashing gallop. You try to run faster. Flinging yourself through an open doorway, you find yourself in a long hall. You're running flat out, but the stomping feet are right behind you. One look over your shoulder, and you scream. The creatures chasing you looks as if it were sewn together from several different animals. It has the body of a shaggy bull and huge feathered eagle wings. Worst of all, it has the head and fangs of a lion.
Wow, so it's just like a Schrodinger's monster. Like, if you go look at it, it's Frankenstein, but if you run away from it, it's like a manticore or whatever this is.
Yeah. Hot breath ruffles your hair. The lion's roar deafens you. When your ears stop ringing, you hear a voice yell, "Up here!" You peer to find a kid leaning over the plywood wall above you. He stretches out his arm to you. "Jump!" he yells. "I'll pull you over!" You don't need another invitation. You leap as high as you can, reaching for the boy's hands. Will you make it? Is luck on your side? If it's a close to an odd number hour, okay, we turn to this page. If it's near an even number.
Wow.
So...
Is there a random one?
So, I mean... Close to. I mean, I guess we're still in 5 o'clock.
It's around 5, yeah, so it's odd, I guess.
All right. Looks as if luck is against you. You fall way short of the boy's reaching hands. Instead, you bang into the wall, then crash to the floor. You lie there frozen. The lion bull eagle beast clomps closer. It growls in triumph. Then the beast leaps backward suddenly, yelping in pain. Its paw at its nose. What happened? Well, maybe luck is with you after all. You look up. The boy is still leaning over the wall. He holds a slingshot in his hands. "Try again!" he yells. You scramble to your feet. The patchwork beast lets out a furious roar. Zing! Something flies past your ear. The beast yelps again. Bullseye! Right in the snout! You leap again. A hand catches your wrist and hauls you up, but the lion creature is right behind you. Huge jaws snap hungrily just inches below your feet. But then you're safe on the other side of the wall. The patchwork creature roars again. It clomps off to the right. You stare at the kid who helped you. He's bigger than you are, and older.
Who are you?
You babble.
What are you doing here?
He grins. It's a long story. To start with, my name is Bob. R.L. Stein, self-insert. You introduce yourself, but he's not really listening. That lion thing knows its way through this maze. It's going to find us if we stick around. What do you say we get out of here? Sounds like a great idea to you. Bob starts leading you through the maze. There's more of us trapped down here, he explains. We've got a kind of camp set up. He gives you a long stare. I think everyone will be glad to see you, he announces. Very glad.
Not ominous at all.
No, not ominous at all. Sounds like we're a sacrifice,
they're
yeah.
Gonna eat us.
We've been hungry for so long. Anyway, Bob moves confidently through the maze. In some areas, though, he motions for you to be quiet. You tiptoe along, and you notice that he keeps his slingshot ready. This maze is an abandoned sub-basement for the whole block, Bob explains. It's full of crazy mixed-up animals. Each has its own hunting ground.
And you fight them with that?
You point to Bob's slingshot. Bob shrugs. It's all we've got, he admits. I was lucky with the lion thing. He just hates getting hit in the nose. I mean, most things I think would. Soon after, a weird noise echoes through the maze. Shh. Bob stops. His face turns pale.
What?
You begin. He shakes his head at you. Hand at you. Quiet, he whispers. Bob seems to be listening carefully. You realize he's trying to figure out where the sound is coming from. At last, he makes up his mind. It'll be here any second, he whispers. Come on. He boosts you up to the top of the wall, then leaps himself. And misses. He bangs against the plywood. Then you hear a loud, hissing sound. Bob jumps again, and you help him over. Get down, he whispers. But at that moment, the beast arrives. You freeze in terror. Now you know what was making that weird rustling noise. The creature has the body of a giant snake, but its head is human. Sort of. In place of hair, hundreds of tiny snakes wriggle on its scalp. A hand grabs your ankle and yanks you down. Bob drags you along in silence through several corridors. Then he finally speaks up. Pretty awful, huh? That's probably the most dangerous monster in the maze. It wraps around you, crushing every bone in your body. Then it swallows you whole. Shuddering, you follow Bob. The angry hissing of the snake creature fades, but you find yourself glancing back every few steps. Anything that sounds like a scrape freezes your blood. You don't want to see that thing ever again. All too soon, Bob halts. Wait here, he says, pointing to a doorway. I'll get Russell.
Who's Russell?
You ask.
And why do I have to wait?
Russell is our leader, Bob replies. He decides whether or not you can join us. Until then, you're not allowed in our camp. He looks you over again. Don't worry, though. I think you're just what we need.
They're gonna eat us.
Probably, yeah. Bob goes off, leaving you by the doorway. This is great, you think. You're lost in a maze where giant snake monsters rule, and now you have to wait alone. Or do you? If you follow Bob, or if you obey him. You gonna be a good boy, Ergo? You gonna wait? I know you think he's gonna eat you, but what if he just senses protag energy in you?
If we follow him and they're actually good, then he's gonna be mad that we did that.
Exactly.
And if we follow him and they're bad, then they're gonna kill us anyway. So I guess we might as well wait.
Okay, so we're going.
That's my logic.
We're being good eggs here. You wait for a long time. Just when you're about to give up and wander off, Bob returns with another older boy. This is Russell, he says. The big boss is tall and skinny.
It's Big Boss.
Big Boss!
From Milky.
With thick glasses. As he gazes down at you, you're reminded of a stork you once saw in a zoo. Russell bursts into a big smile. Perfect, Bob, he exclaims. Just the right size. I think that they're going to want you to go through like a hole.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
Yep. You don't like the sound of that. Your Uncle Mel always says the same thing about that turkey at Thanksgiving dinner.
That it's just the right size?
Yep.
What am I perfect for?
You demand. I can't tell you. Yet, Russell says mysteriously. Anyway, I've got to test you first.
Test me?
You cry in disbelief. Yes, Russell goes on. I want you to bend your right leg up until you until you catch hold of your ankle with your right hand.
Are you serious?
You demand. Totally, Russell replies. Do it, or you don't get in. Okay, Ergo, do you succeed or do you fail? Are the options.
I succeed, I guess. That's not really that hard, right? Like.
Okay. Good job being limber. Russell almost bursts into applause when you catch your ankle. You're just the person we need, he cries. He turns to Bob.
Nobody else can do that.
Right? Everybody else sucks.
Everybody else has terrible balance. They just fall over as soon as they stand on one leg.
Quick, get the others. We'll be leaving right away. Leaving? You were hoping you could stay at their camp. Somehow it sounds safer than the rest of the maze. And another thing.
Why am I just the person you need?
You ask suspiciously. Because of your size, Russell answers. Everybody in our group is too big.
We're just a little guy?
Yeah. A shiver runs down your spine.
Too big for what?
You want to know. Russell looks one way, then the other. He almost seems afraid he'll be overheard. We think we found a way out of here, he whispers. But it will only work for a little person. A way out?
I've heard of that game. I've seen people play it online. Count me in.
You shout. Your heart starts to thump in your chest. There might be a way out of this maze of horrors. Then you start to wonder, why is Russell treating it like a deep, dark secret? Russell sees the look on your face and explains. We're not taking the whole group, only a few. I don't want to raise people's hopes. Besides, it'll be safer this way.
Safer?
You gulp. Taking a small group through a maze full of killer creatures doesn't sound safe to you. You'd be happier in a large group. Say, an army. Why does Russell think only a handful of people would be better? When you ask, Russell replies, I don't want to draw attention to us, either from the guys upstairs, or from the guy upstairs, or from the maze creatures. They'd be sure to spot a big crowd passing through their hunting grounds. Russell shakes his head. And that would be bad, because we're going into the most dangerous part of this maze. You gulp. Now you wish you hadn't been so eager to volunteer, but it's too late to go back now. Bob appears with 2 more bigger kids, Dan and Alicia. "Let's go!" he exclaims. The 5 of you set off. They keep you in the middle. You feel happy about that. Then you realize your new friends have a reason for keeping you safe. You're the only one who'll fit through Russell's way out. You wind through the maze. Bob leads, his slingshot ready. Everybody glances nervously around. Then you hear a loud squishing sound. "Oh no," Russell cries. "It's found us!" Around the corner comes another horrible creature. This one has the body of a slug and a head like a giant squid. Alicia grabs you as the thing rears back and spits. A big gob of goo flies from the creature's... Gabagool! A big gob of goo flies from the creature's mouth. It misses you, but lands on the wall right behind you. Immediately the plywood starts to bubble and hiss. The thing's spit must be acid. If it had touched you... "Run!" Russell shouts. Alicia drags you around the corner. After a couple of minutes of running, the group slows down. "It's dangerous, but it's not fast," Alicia pants. Ahead, Russell and Bob are arguing in whispers. Russell turns to all of you. "The spitter is blocking the path we plan to take," he exclaims. "I think we should circle around it, even though that means spending more time in the danger zone." He points at a doorway in the plywood wall. "But Bob thinks we can cut through here. The problem is, none of us have been through this part of the maze before." Russell looks at your little group. "We'll take a vote. Which way do you want to go?" Russell or Bob's plan, Ergo?
Wait, so... Which one?
So Russell wants
to
circle around it, and Bob thinks we can cut through in an uncharted part of the maze.
Circle around it. Let's go with Bob. Sounds more exciting.
Sounds more exciting? All right, Ergo, vying for another death run.
No, see, because you gotta be daring, right?
That's fair. You'll go with Bob. After all, he saved you from the lion bull eagle monster. He knows what he's doing. "Everybody's for Bob's route, raise your hand," Russell calls. You raise your hand, and so do Dan and Alicia. Bob's shortcut wins. Russell seems annoyed, but he doesn't say anything. As you file along Bob's route, you notice that the walls of the maze are covered in gray gunk. It looks like mold. In some places there are piles of it on the floor. "Have you ever seen this stuff before?" Russell asks Bob. The other boy shakes his head. "No, and we shouldn't take any chances with it. Nobody touch the walls." The stuff has a sharp, peppery smell. Your nose twitches as you move into a room where it coats the walls thickly. It's too much. You can't help yourself.
Achoo!
Your sneeze blows a clump of the mold loose from the wall. It swirls around you in a gray cloud. But it doesn't act like any cloud you've ever seen. Instead of spreading out, it gathers in, circling around you and your friends. Then the cloud breaks into 5 separate clouds, one for each of you.
Okay.
Tiny gray dots swirl around you. They land covering your arms, your hands, your face. You try to brush the stuff away. It won't come off. "Bugs!" Russell yells in horror. "They're teeny tiny bugs!" You feel a creepy crawly sensation on your skin. Then it starts to sting like millions of pinpricks. You blink your eyes and hold your nose, trying to keep the bugs away, but you feel suddenly weak. It's as though these tiny things are sucking the juices right out of you. Alicia keels over, hitting the floor. She's covered in gray gunk. She looks just like those piles of mold you passed in the other rooms. You must look like one too, you think, as you fall. And soon, you'll all be... the end. I told you were vying for another death run.
Alright, fine. We won't take that route then, I guess.
Okay, so we're going to
Russell.
Okay, go with Russell. You trust Russell, after all. He's the leader. Alicia and Dan agree.
Well, Alicia and Dan just agree with whatever you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way. It's what Bob intends.
What?
Bob here intends, or sorry, R.L. Stein. I like to call him Bob now since you told me that he goes by Bob. But yeah, that's what I meant. Not that Bob, the other Bob.
Yep.
The group starts to circle around, but after the first set of zigzags, Russell stops. "Spider webs," he whispers. "What's the big deal?" you wonder. Spiders aren't so scary compared to the maze monsters. You peek around the corner and gasp. The whole hallway is blocked by a giant spider web. Sitting in the middle, its eyes gleaming, is a spider the size of a German shepherd. That is pretty big. The group sneaks away and tries another path. You walk and turn and walk. At last you come into a room that's different from the rest. The far wall isn't plywood, it's brick. Russell climbs onto Bob's shoulders. He pries out a few of the bricks. Hey, there's a hole in the wall, a tunnel. High above, you see a gleam of bright sunlight. Everyone turns to you. It's up to you, Russell tells you solemnly. You're the only one who can save us.
Man.
All right. Heart beating, you push past your friends and into darkness. There's not much room. You're hemmed in tight, but you can see a light up ahead. You pay attention to nothing else, working toward it. The light becomes dazzling. Blindly, you shove your way forward, feeling squashed and breathless. You can't move. Are you trapped? With a desperate wriggle, you force yourself a few inches forward. Then, like a cork popping out of a bottle, you're through. You tumble flat on your face. Rough concrete scratches against your cheek. You feel sun on your back. You're free. Scrambling to your feet, you dash along a back alley and out into the street. Help, you yell. Kidnapping!
Help! Kidnapping! Monsters!
Passerby on the streets turn around. You gape in horror. These people have skin like dark green leather. They have giant honeycombed eyes like insects. And they don't talk. They buzz.
What the fuck?
Right? You jump back with a horrified scream. These creatures aren't human. They're bugs. Oddly enough, when they see you, the bug people leap back too. They raise stick-like arms in front of their faces. Their buzzing suddenly becomes very shrill. I must look as scary to them as they do to me, you realize. Fighting your own terror, you manage a friendly smile. What do good aliens say in sci-fi comics? Oh, right.
I come in peace.
You call. Too bad the bug people don't speak English. Their buzzing rises to a shriek as you walk towards them. You grab your ears at the shrill sounds of hundreds of alien screams.
Jeez.
It's worse than the whine of a dentist drill.
Please, I need help. My friends are trapped.
You beg. Still shrieking, the bug people start backing away.
No.
You shout. You run after them, but they jump like huge crickets, 20 feet at a leap. In a couple of blocks, the bug people leave you far behind. But one of them can't jump away. He, or it, is trapped under an overturned car. Or cart. It looks like a rolling hot dog stand, except the Franks are wriggling worm-like things. You lean over the trapped alien.
Listen to me.
You begin. The bug person flops back. It's fainted. Clearly you're not going to get any help here. You'll have to go back to the basement and rescue your friends. But how do you get back? How can you find the alley where you arrived in this world? As you gaze around, you realize that all the buildings are identical, hive-like. It seems you're stuck on this strange world, a world where you're the monster. Oh well, don't bug out.
What the fuck?
You keep getting some weird endings, Ergo.
What is happening?
Did you want to try a different route?
So what? The exit just went to like an alternate dimension?
Yep. I guess there's no... Should we go back to where the option with the two kids, and instead of talking to the guy, should you fight the comic book guy? Because I think that's like the only ending you haven't gotten.
Oh, like go back to the first route that we were on?
Yeah. Or if you want to try a different thing here.
Let's see.
Because like last time you let's see.
Oh yeah, this is okay.
Back and see who's following you if you'd rather run and get out of there fast, yeah. When you hear that first noise.
So this is the one with the universal monsters.
Yes, yes. So the universal monster route,
Oh, and then we did sneaking. Sneaking worked. Mm-hmm. And then you're like blah blah blah.
If you go with Jack and Cammy, move. If you try to go alone,
we'll
you
go
didn't
with
do that
them.
option. Okay. So you're still going with Jack and Cammy?
I want to see like maybe if we. Because wait, okay. So I guess we can choose
to tackle Milo.
We tackled him.
Or would you rather get out if you're going off?
Run away?
What do you want to do?
No. Oh right, no, because
because this is the part. It's Milo's magic. You turn a corner, you crash with the two guys. They're frozen to a doorway, a big room. It's full of kids.
He's holding a bunch of kids hostage, so I think we got to take him on.
Okay, so we tackle Milo again.
We got him.
Do you ask Milo to let everyone go, or ask what he's up to?
Yeah, we'll say just let everybody go. I don't care what you're doing.
Okay.
So here we go.
So you shake a fist under Milo's nose.
Okay, Milo, it's over.
You yell.
Let us all go, or you'll be sorry.
Milo just laughs. No, you'll be sorry. Don't you know I'm a mutant? I can change into any kind of creature I want to be. He gives you an evil smile. Here's what I call...
I didn't know that.
Right, thanks for that now.
That didn't happen in the other timelines. Well, I mean, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Glob.
Well, it was like he read our mind, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. He did the thing like in Ghostbusters, yeah.
Yeah.
The chest you're sitting on starts to wobble like Jell-O. You gasp as Milo's skin turns transparent. Then he dribbles bonelessly out of his clothes.
Boneless.
Boneless chicken
Boneless
wings.
wings.
Yum, yum, yum. Cammy and Jack leap back, screaming. You try to jump too, but Milo's new form oozes around your legs. He's not just gooey, he's gluey. You can't get free of Milo's slimy self. He's up to your knees, your hips, now you're almost completely covered by the glob. Desperately, you try to peel Milo's glob form off yourself. Help! Oh, that's you.
Help!
You try to shriek, but your air is cut off. You look at your arm, your flesh is beginning to blur.
Oh god.
Milo is absorbing you. Too bad you lose this time.
What the fuck?
This one, man.
This one's hard.
This one is really hard.
Okay, wait. Was there anything different on the path where we talked to him? If you ask what he's up to?
Yeah, so if you ask what he's up to...
I don't remember if there was any choices.
He's mutating into King Jelly Jam.
Well,
Hang on.
check.
If you're scared, tell him you're scared, or if you want to go up against Milo.
Okay, we'll try to fight him.
Okay, so he's turned into King Jelly Jam.
Yeah.
And originally we say that we're scared, and then he turns us into King Jelly Jam and makes us a monster on tour.
Or celebrity or whatever, yeah.
Let's see if we can take him on. You're going to fight, even though it takes all of your courage just to gaze at Milo's new rubbery face. You try to remember the story you read. The girl who told the story managed to defeat King Jelly Jam. But how? Terror has got your mind all mixed up. Did she push King Jelly Jam into an oven? No, that was the ending to an old fairy tale. The gross purple face snorts at you. Your stomach gurgles at the sour stink of bad breath. Is that what destroyed King Jelly Jam? Did he suffocate from his own smell? Think. How would you destroy a huge purple body? One that looks just like a slime-filled balloon. Did the girl in the story poke Jelly Jam so he popped? Those big yellow eyes are getting a nasty look. Time to decide. Do you poke Jelly Jam, Ergo, or do you try to suffocate the giant creature?
I guess let's poke him.
Alright, just like old 2000s Facebook, let's poke.
Give him a Facebook poke.
You reach into your pocket and grab your keys. They're the sharpest thing you have on you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you're gonna shiv him with your keys.
Stab him.
Then lowering your head, you charge. You hold your arm straight out with the longest key jutting out of your fist.
Die, monster!
You yell. Quivering purple flesh quakes in front of you. You ram into it at full speed. Sorry, I had to get some dew from the mountain.
God damn it. I see the end.
Yup. But King Jelly Jam's body doesn't pop like a balloon. It just gives way, then bounces back. You're sent flying until you're caught in a giant hand. Die? Is that what you said? Milo's voice asks. The hand brings you higher over the hideous purple face. Rubbery lips open to reveal big, stained yellow teeth. Two pink tongues waggle at you as the hand lets go. Fire. Maybe you should have tried fire, you think, as you drop into the huge, hungry mouth. Man, Ergo keeps dying.
Let's try to suffocate him?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's the one. So we're gonna try to suffocate him. You form a plan. You just hope you're right. A slimy purple hand grabs you. Answer me! Milo's voice gurgles out of King Jelly Jam's body. Am I scary enough? Tears run down your face from his stench. You raise a hand to your ear.
I'm Canadian now. What's that you say?
You ask. The creature's watery yellow eyes bulge out in fury. Am I scary enough for you? The awful voice roars. The smell is growing even worse. You choke and cough, but you manage to gasp.
You'll have to speak up.
Milo sucks in a huge breath to yell at you. Snails rattle to the floor as his body swells. His hand squeezes you painfully. Then it loosens. The yellow eyes cross. King Jelly Jam's body topples with a splat. You got it right. In the book, King Jelly Jam was suffocated by his own stink.
Okay.
You made it happen. It seems that the end of Milo's means the end of his magic maze too. The walls shimmer and melt, revealing a cave. Not far away, a set of stairs leads upward toward light. You start climbing. You just want to go home, get some rest, recover from your incredible adventure, and take a bath. You stink.
Wow.
I guess you did it again. You survived.
I guess. Oh yeah, because in this round he just fucking Thanos snapped all the other kids, I guess, or were they not real?
No, I think it just sent you to. Maybe no. I think they're real.
Somewhere?
I think
Are they still trapped somewhere?
I think he used his magic to be like, oh, we're alone in a separate.
I guess
dimensional room.
I don't know.
Some anime shenanigans.
I feel like that's the best we're gonna get, I guess.
I guess so.
This one's kind of brutal, jeez.
Yeah, there's not a lot of good endings because I feel like this is probably... I don't know if this is the only way to get the good ending in this area. Because like, in the other one, you got the good ending by getting on the bus. Like, you know, when you got off on the bus.
So we kind of did. So I guess there's basically two routes. There's either you go into the basement or you go into the comic books.
Yeah.
And so we went into the basement. That kind of splits into two routes. Because one of them was this one with the like Universal monsters and whatever, where he's trying to get his show rebooted or whatever. And so,
and then the other one is with the other one is
the one that actually seems like a serious like dystopian, like, you know, young adult novel or whatever. Where
I do kind of wonder what happens if you disobey Russell and you go into.
I guess I was gonna say we basically did everything.
Do you want to just go ahead and look at it? We'll do it quickly. Unless it's a...
No, we'll leave it.
We'll leave it?
We'll leave it.
All right. We'll give you something to look for yourself.
For people at home, you should go read the book yourself.
Go read the book.
Because there's a whole nother comic book we didn't do. We didn't go to a Super Doer.
Oh, that's true.
So
we didn't do Super Doer,
there might be two basement paths and two comic book paths.
That's true. That's very true.
So it's, in a sense, like, with that other basement path, unless something different happens, like if you follow Bob or whatever.
I wonder if you go to Super Doer, that's probably where Super Lizard comes in.
Oh, yeah, Super Lizard never appeared.
Yeah, we never saw Super Lizard.
From the freaking cover. Yeah, this one was a lot... I wasn't expecting half of the book to be, like, the back rooms or whatever.
Yeah.
Like...
this one was weird. But yeah, so we've given you something to go look at yourself.
More of the comic book stuff.
Yeah.
And not just being trapped in some guy's basement.
Yeah. Some weird basement shenanigans. But you did get some good endings. You survived a couple times. You died a lot, but you survived a few times too. Because you ended up back at home in the normal world when you went onto the bus.
And we
also, Pumpkin Hill is playing.
Oh, nice. Perfect. But yeah, God.
But yeah, but what was it? Yeah, you got the good ending there. And I think that was the only good ending from that one that you got, because the other one was you getting out and going into the alien world that we just did a little bit ago.
Well, yeah. That was the Doof world. That's right. That was in the Doof world, we either got killed by Doof, or we were stupid and basically killed ourselves. Yeah, that was the only good ending we had. In that Dr. Doof universe. Yeah, which was just basically that none of this happened. I guess it was like a kind of a bad ending though, because I guess, we were saying, oh, Doof isn't such a bad guy, and then I guess he died? I mean, but he was gonna go conquer Earth. Yeah, but that was in a different timeline. Fair point, I guess. A little bittersweet, but still, at least you survived it. And then, kind of like the one where you get turned into King Jelly Jam, you become famous. I guess. Kind of hard to tell. It's kind of hard. Our good friend Bob here doesn't go into how you feel about this psychologically. Yeah. Your parents know who you are. It's up to you, I guess. Yeah. But it's up to you to finish reading this book on your own. Wow. Just know that I think out of all the ones that Ergo has done, this is probably the hardest one. Yeah. Yeah, at least I feel. Yeah, this one, it also had, probably more, graphic deaths, because there was a lot of, getting dissolved by slime. A lot of that, yeah. Getting dissolved, we got eaten, we got just choked to death. Yeah. We just suffocated. We got cut in half by a portal. Yeah. We flew into space, and I guess also choked in space.
Yay!
Oh no, well, we flew into space and then we fell back to the ground like Yamcha. We got Yamcha, that's the powerful pancake.
Yeah, the powerful pancake was the Yamcha ending.
We got like killed by some bugs, or oh yeah, the mold bugs or whatever.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad ones in this one. But yeah, no, I had fun doing this with you, Ergo. I'm not sure if you'll want to do something like this again in the future, because I know you want to continue this series, but if you want to do it every, like, occasionally or whatever, be the chooser yourself, then you can see the Choose Your Own Adventures on my channel. But for the most part, you'll see them on Ergo's.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, of course. Giving you the option to...
Thanks for reading.
To be on there. Yeah, I like it. You know, I had fun with it. But yeah, and I hope that it wasn't too scary for everybody.
Oh.
Don't have nightmares now.
I'm scared.
Ooh. Who should we go raid? Let's see if we can bring these spoopy nightmares to anyone else. Or all these good feels and this squeaky chair noise.
I guess we could raid Plant.
Oh yeah, let's go raid Plant.
Not a plant.
Let's go raid Plant. I don't know how recently I've done that.
Here, you can type it. Or click on it, I guess. No, wait. Oh, well, it's definitely underscore, not underscore, a underscore plant. Hey.
That?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So yes, we'll go ahead and give our good friend Plant a raid. Tell them that we say hello, and reader beware, you survived your scare, and go scare Plant. No, with how kind you are. There we go. Scare Plant with kindness. Right. Until next time. Goodbye.
Bye.